What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to an episode of PAC Man, all things physician assistant. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about interviewing. Why are you licking me? Dog over here, she wants to say hi. Say hi to everybody, Sasha. You see everybody on YouTube? Show them your bad haircut that Daddy made. It's not so bad, right? So, you want to say hi to? Come here, boy. You can say hi to YouTube. Come on. You want to say hi to YouTube? Say, my hair doesn't grow, so Daddy can't mess it up. It's alright, boy. Alright, go back to what you were doing. Anyways, so you want to get into PA school, but you got to overcome the hurdle of the interview. I can't tell you what to do for your interview, but I can tell you what happened during mine, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes, or not. So, the very first thing is don't wait until you get the interview to start preparing for the interview. Now, what happened with me is I got the call. They said, hey, congratulations, you're moving to the next phase. We need you to come in about a week and a half to interview. Here's your interview schedule, date, and time. So I'm thinking, what? 9 days from now? Luckily, I started preparing in advance because I told the universe that I was getting into PA school this time, this year, on this date. So I automatically just started preparing. I even went out and bought the clothes that I wanted to wear to the interview. I started practicing with my wife a bunch of interview questions, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And I put it out there. I let God know what's in my heart. And I absolutely started preparing for this exam. Well, I did prepare for the exam as well as for the interview, all at the same time, concurrently, knowing that this is it. This is game time. So as far as the interview questions themselves go, there are 1,000,001 websites that offer the top 100 questions asked in PA school. Quite honestly, I didn't get asked not even 10% of the questions online, but it doesn't matter because I felt prepared for anything they throw at me. There is nothing more nerve-wracking than not knowing what the person, the interviewer, or the panel is going to ask you. That is a very scary feeling. So I answered everything that I can find. I answered. Why do you want to get into PA school? Who is the founding father of PA school? What was the first university that had a PA program? They didn't ask me any of this, but I prepared for it in the events that they did. Now, what I don't want you to do, or at least I don't recommend that you do, is that you just start memorizing your answers. And then memorization will always fail you when you're nervous. So if they ask you, why do you want to get into PA school? And you're like, oh no, I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember why. Okay, if you cannot remember why you want to be in PA school, then you probably shouldn't be in PA school. Now, I'm not saying that's going to make you a bad PA, but I'm saying don't memorize things because it's going to hurt you. Instead, think of general, realistic reasons why you want to be in PA school. Now, I do want to say one thing. If you're getting into PA school for monetary reasons only, I mean, you're just there for the six-figure salary, okay, don't say that. Start thinking of other reasons why PA school is good. And then, again, don't memorize anything, but, give yourself a couple of options to provide them in the events that they do ask you. I think every time my wife asked me why I wanted to be in PA school, I believe I gave her a different answer every time. Now, I'm not doing it for monetary reasons. That's very nice. I love when I find a profession or something that I'm passionate about, and it actually reciprocates the love by compensating me for my passion. And that's beautiful, but it's not for the money. But every time I responded to my wife, I gave a different answer. She started to think, why do you want to be in PA school? Or why do you want to become a PA? And then I gave her my actual reason why, and she's like, why don't you just say that? I was like, because what if I forget at the time when the time comes? What if I forget? Just let me say whatever I want to say, and to the point where I'm just so comfortable with the questions that I'm good either way. So we went through hundreds upon hundreds of questions. So find a partner that you can most definitely interact with and ask each other questions if you're both applying to the program, or if they're a future prospect, or just find a spouse, a friend, a family member, anyone that can help you out. So done with that. Next. So think about what you want to ask. Think about what you want to ask them at the end of the interview. All interviews essentially end the same way. Do you have any questions for us? And you never want to say no, you just look disinterested. And you don't want to go off asking random specific facts. So think about the questions, process this information in advance so when the time comes, you can even write them down. I had a little notepad in my hand. I didn't need it, but if I forgot what to ask them, I could have easily opened it. The entire notebook was empty. Only the first page had my set of questions. And I would have easily opened it and said, yes, so here are some questions that I have for you guys. And I'm going to give you the 2 questions that I asked them because I think they were just flawless questions. And I believe that it can benefit you guys in the future. The first question I said to them was, in the events that I get accepted into PA school, what do you guys believe that I can start preparing for in advance? So they stopped for a second, they thought about it, and they said, okay, so if you got accepted into PA school, I would probably start brushing up on, and then they gave me some examples of what to brush up on. And I was like, okay, perfect. Question number 2, in the events that I do not get accepted this time around, what can I do to make myself a better candidate when I apply next year? So you see what I did there? I didn't just say if I apply in the future or when I come back around to it. No, when I come right back here next year during application season, what should be on my resume this time that makes me a better candidate? And I thought those were my 2 I thought those questions were just absolutely brilliant. And I don't even know if I got it from somewhere, whatever, who cares? Run with those 2 questions. I think they're very useful questions. Next. Actual tips about the interview day itself. We're all familiar with breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But if you're a person that doesn't normally eat breakfast, do not go and eat the biggest thing, the biggest meal that you can find. I see all the time people on test day or interview day, they decide today is a special day. I'm going to eat a breakfast of kings or queens. I don't eat breakfast. I only have a cup of coffee in the morning and I'm gone and I'm good to go till 12, 1 p.m., whatever. If you yourself aren't accustomed to eating breakfast, don't make this a special occasion, because when that fight or flight adrenaline gets released into your bloodstream, that food will not sit well and you do not want to be queasy or uncomfortable during the interview process. Next tip. Remember their names. If they introduce themselves, which I'm pretty sure they will, it's very easy to forget someone's name. So write it down. Don't be afraid to write them down. Don't be afraid to know your audience in advance. And what I mean by that is you have absolutely no idea who's going to interview you, but you know who is the faculty that works in that program, because you can go on the website and it'll show you who the program director is. It'll tell you who the clinical director, the didactic directors. It'll show you what the faculty members are. It may not show you adjunct instructors that just come and go, teach a subject, and they're gone till next year. But those are usually the friendliest ones because they're out working in the field. They're probably alumni graduates that are just back to help in their school. So usually these guys are not there to attack you with questions or what have you. They're usually fairly friendly. But the rest of them, know them. And what I mean by know them, you don't have to stalk them and on LinkedIn or follow them on social media. Just they give a little bit of general information about them on the website, just so you can know who your faculty members are or your administrators are, and of course their name is there. So the main thing is just facial recognition. When I walked into my interview and I saw Dr. So and so, I was like, hey, I think I've seen her picture before on the website. So it just kind of helps to just orient yourself, and it's easier to remember a name if you've heard it more than once or once before than to just have to memorize it at the very moment. But if you have to write it down, please. Doesn't matter if the spelling is correct. Don't ask them, uh, can you spell it? No, forget that. Just, okay, you said Dr. Right? Whatever any way that you can remember the name, and that's the best way. And I'm sorry if I've offended anyone out there with a last name of Okay, so uh, of course, make good eye contact. Sit upright. Don't slouch like me. I'm home. I'm comfortable. I had a long day studying for my PANCE exam, and don't just walk in like this. Hey guys, so this is PA school. Awesome. No, sit upright. Get comfortable. Interlock your hands so you don't become fidgety. My wife says I do things with my hands when I'm nervous. I don't think I do it, but she says I do. So cross your arms, don't move, sit upright, give good eye contact, answer questions clearly. I tend to mumble, not stutter, but I tend to definitely talk low, especially when I get comfortable. So I may start off very strong, and little by little I may get comfortable as I'm talking. I may even use a little bit of ain't or y'all or yeah. So definitely don't lose the professionalism. Stay focused. Know what you're there. And of course, shake everyone's hand. Thank them for their time. And one thing that I did as soon as I walked into the room, I thought was pretty good. I didn't anticipate to do it, but it just happened. And as soon as I walked in, I said, guys, I just want to tell you right now, if this is as far as I make it, I just want to stop and thank you all. This has been a beautiful journey, and just the preparation for it. I've learned so much thus far, and I mean, I honestly just wanted to thank you for that. So I'm sorry that I even took up. So your name is okay, Peter Molina. Perfect. Have a seat. Yada yada. Something that I feel I shouldn't say, but just in case that it wasn't obvious, is arrive early. Leave your house with so much time, you probably thinking, why did I leave so early? It feels so good to arrive and just sit down and relax. And driving, especially down here in South Florida, it's just so much anxiety, and it's just you're always alert and focused. It just feels good to get there. I arrived probably more than an hour and a half before my actual interview, and by the time the interview came around, I was pretty much USA. Just I saw other people just arriving right on time as they called us in, and I'm just thinking, man, I do not want to walk in to my interview just getting off the road like that. Yikes. So I hope I didn't leave anything out in regards to interviewing for PA school. If I did, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment in the section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them individually. And remember, I'm here for you guys. Anything to watch you guys complete your dreams makes me happy. I know I'm giving back, as I promised to God that if I got into PA school, which I'm now done with PA school, but if I got into PA school, that I would never forget how I got there. So I'm now turning back around to give back to others who are in the same position that I am. So again, I love you guys. I hope this reaches you in time for for the preparation of your exam and the preparation of your interviewing process. And again, if you have any questions, you can subscribe so you know when new videos are coming out, and you can always just send me a message, comment, do whatever you want. I'm here for you guys. Love you. Bye.